Welcome back to another episode from the Optimal Body Podcast. I'm Doc Jen.
And I'm Dr. Dom.
And we are talking about creating healthy habits within movement within this episode. So how do I create that habit of actually building in those healthy techniques that I know I should be doing, but I don't really? Also, I'm just going to mention that we just opened up early bird access right now, today, for the Grateful for My Body challenge, which starts November 1st. And this is an incredible 30-day challenge of so many movers going through 27 videos that I'm providing, but so many people just end up like, oh my gosh, I can jump and I don't have knee pain. I can feel something different in my shoulders. My low back pain went away. Like, so many amazing things will happen when it's not even specific to certain pains, but it's really just specific to building these healthy habits. Okay, so let's dive in. So that is like the first step into really like building that healthy habit, is finding something that you enjoy. And then like, I like what you said in the beginning about adding in stuff rather than taking it out, right? And this is how I also like to think about food concepts. It's like, what can I add in that just make me feel better in general, rather than what do I have to avoid, right?
Totally.
And I love that in practice and movement as well. So if we suddenly fall in love with CrossFit, right? Okay, great. What are you going to add in to supplement to really help? And that's where people might find mobility practices. This is where, finding muscle activations from the Optimal Body, huge to really build in that stability within the body. Or if you're loving yoga, like that's what you've fallen in love with. And how are we going to add in some resistance training as well? How are we going to challenge those muscles a little bit more? And again, it doesn't have to mean going to a gym and throwing around a barbell. Could we get some weights and some dumbbells, some kettlebells, a pull-up bar? Like, what can you add in your home that challenges your body in a little different way? And
so again, once you have found this practice, once you're like, okay, this is what I want to dive into and this is what I want to do, start small. Again, I bring up the 10K example, or the CrossFit or yoga example for that matter. Like, the goal shouldn't be to, okay, I'm going to go out and do this every day for an hour a day, right? Especially depending on where you're coming from, that could be a great way to burn out really fast and then confirm in your head, this is why I don't do these things.
Exactly.
So yes, if I jumped into doing CrossFit 7 days a week right now, I would burn out after a week or two.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, I worked out all the time. My cousin, who didn't work out all the time, would come with me, and then the next day she'd be like, I can't move. I'm never doing this again. And I'm like, well, I didn't quite guide her in a very efficient way.
Yeah, I call it like the 1% goal. Like, what is what you want to end up doing? What would be your ultimate fitness goal? Divide that by like 100. Yeah. And that's what you should try to do consistently at this point. So if it is to go for a run, a mile run, a 10-mile run, like, can you just go out and go for a walk around the block to start? See how I feel after that. What sorenesses might pop up? What are those little supplement exercises that you might need to fit in, like a different mobility routine? Maybe throw in a different hip exercise. That would be a great way to help your body feel more balanced in that routine.
I'm sure someone listening is like, well, then what am I supposed to do?
How
right?
do I figure out those things?
Yeah. And that's where, like, one of our sayings is assess, don't guess. And this can also go along with self-assess. Don't just guess. So at least, like, if you're not going to see a therapist or someone who's like really looking at everything, could you find self-assessments that help guide you better than Googling or trying to randomly scroll Instagram, right? So this is like what we have in the challenge that's coming up, the Grateful for My Body challenge. I'm starting off very small, and we have 3 self-assessments. They're quick. They're super easy to listen to as well. I think like the max long is like 3 minutes, but it just gives you a place to start to explore mobility and strength, to be able to see, okay, this is my starting point, and this is where my body's at. What can I lean into in order to continue to improve? And
you've never done anything like this before in one of your 30-day challenges that we've had, is have that self-assessment component. And I think that's going to be so cool for so many people, because again, I know I would go through these self-assessments and find some things that I could work on for the 30 days.
Me too.
And so, once November starts, I will definitely be dedicated more and more throughout that 30 days to being like, okay, how can I work on my hips more? How can I work on my upper back more? Again, whatever these assessments are, it helps you to continue to like return back and say, okay, where am I at? Is this becoming less uncomfortable? Am I noticing more range consistently? Am I noticing less soreness after I do my primary activity of CrossFit or yoga or running? Once you do these self-assessments, then we go through 30 full days, 30 days with 27 different workout videos that are just incredible at helping you attack these different restrictions that we might find in the self-assessment.
Functional HIIT workouts are really, the whole intention that I have is that you can do it at home. You don't need a lot of equipment, and you can learn a ton about the body. Plus, I have so many modifications, like all of the modifications where you do not have to be jumping. It's essentially a strength workout. And I even teach you in the beginning how to shift the HIIT workout. So it's not high intensity at all, and it's completely strength. So I even teach you in the very beginning how to really make that shift and make that change if that's what you choose to do. So this is about learning about your body and feeling empowered to move in a different way and following a plan and actually sticking to it. When you're doing something, and especially if it's new and you're building in these new healthier habits for the body and learning all these things, you need a little bit of consistency. So some people will go through the first week and will repeat a lot and also add in a lot in the second week. But some things are going to be repeated because guess what? If you wanted to improve, you have to repeat it again and again and make sure, can my body actually hold this? Can I visit it again? Do I need less cues? What do I feel? What am I noticing that's maybe different? You have to repeat in order to progress.
And it needs to be consistency for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
So yes, this is 30 days, and that's just a jump start. That's just to kickstart you into this life of healthy habits. 30 days, we're going to get you jump started. And in those 30 days, you're likely going to learn some things about your body. It's going to point you towards a sense of why, like, okay, I'm understanding why I'm doing these movements. I'm feeling better in certain joints. It's translating into my life, whether that's walking the dog, pushing a stroller, whatever it is, going to a CrossFit class. Like, you're going to start to connect that in, and it will really jumpstart that lifetime journey. I think healthy habits are really built over a lifetime.
This is like an introduction to what is possible, to what you can do, because the videos are pretty short and I want to keep them on the shorter end so that you're not spending a bunch of time just listening. I love to educate and cue, so it is really hard for me to hold back, but I hold back a little bit on these videos just so that you're not, spending too much time. Like at max by week 4, you might be spending 40 minutes in these videos.
I think that the other good thing, which is one of the first things we brought up, is it brings in that community. There's a day that you missed and you're like, hey, I didn't have the time that I could devote to that. Like, you can get to it the next day. There's so many people who are going to be, whether it's on Instagram sharing posts, hey, I did, last week's HIIT because I didn't have time. There's so many people who are showing you how it works.
And you'll hear because we have a hashtag within it, the GFMB. Well, yeah, that's your Grateful for My Body. But we also have specific hashtags this time that we're using as well. So we have GFMB knee pain, GFMB shoulder pain, GFMB low back pain. We want to build this community aspect even more. And so you're going to see people point out different things. So if you can follow a guideline or a hashtag and find that community of people who are all struggling and working through the same thing, it's going to be so helpful of oh, this worked for me, or that one didn't really work for me. How did you incorporate that? And really getting that accountability, that community, that calendar to just follow and not have to think. I mean, we provide everything.
And there's prizes.
There's prizes.
Lots of prizes. So prizes for staying involved, posting as a part of the community online, also prizes for bringing in friends and family. If you refer a lot of people in to bring in as your support system, there's a lot of prizes for that as well.
I mean, accountability for me is huge. We're traveling all over the place, and I don't always have a consistent...
As you see, we're in Texas right now. Practice.
But I don't always have a consistent buddy to be able to work out with. And sometimes you like to do things a little bit different than I do. And so I end up FaceTiming friends all the time.
One of the more exciting things too is that we have this platform that we're going to be launching soon, and future challenges will be housed on the new platform,
which is just jen.health. Like, it's the easiest link to ever remember because there's no .com, there's nothing. Like, just type in jen.health and you'll come to this page, join the waitlist, and you have to fill out the survey. So you don't get the discount code until you fill out the survey. But if you fill out a really quick survey and just tell us everything that you want to see in the new platform that's coming, which platform means online app, it's all coming. Android and Apple, it's all going to be here. First week of signing up for this challenge, it is like the cheapest thing I've ever offered. I mean, that is dropping into a yoga class one time, but getting 27 classes, all different, to learn about your body.
Yeah, and it's 30 days, and a lot of people will ask like, oh, do I have access to it after? Like, I can't do the exercises now. Am I going to be able to do them later on? Like, you have 6 months of access into this thing. So if you aren't able to do it in that first 30 days, or, you aren't able to complete all of it, you have 5 extra months after that to continue to work through it, continue to learn from the material.
Okay, all of that to say, I hope you sign up. I'm so excited. The link is below, and it's going to be an epic November.
Thanks for joining us for another PT Pearl, all about how to start creating those habits surrounding movement. It's not a 30-day thing. It's not a 60-day thing. It's a lifetime thing. But we do hope you join us to start that journey in the 30-day challenge. If you have any other questions, drop them below. Subscribe. Let us know about future topics you might want us to talk about. We're always looking for new things that we can come out with for these PT Pearls. See you next time.